welcome to this final project for the CS50 Introduction to Computer Science course held by David. This is a 2D visual novel interactive game, also web-based, named How Much of a Cunt Are You? And this game was also inspired partly by the comics of The Boys, written by Garth Ennis and the artist Derek Robertson. So let's start our game and see how it goes. So the game starts with the first cover page where we can press play the game, and the game asks you to enter your name, also describing what you have to do in the game. So the user faces here 10 moral dilemmas with different levels of cruelty or absurdity, and each decision tests your honesty, selfishness, and responsibility. These points are also storaged, and after answering each question, the user sees immediately how many points he or she has earned. And after answering all of the questions, the user will see the final verdict about himself or herself. How much of a cunt is this person based on which moral decisions the person has taken? The questions are very differently considering the social dilemmas, daily situations with neighbors, with partners, with friends, also with colleagues in the office. Also serious philosophical questions, as well as the questions how to behave with people with visible and invisible disabilities in the society, LGBT communities, sexual questions about your sexuality, and so on. Yes, in total there are 60 questions in our database, and it works like this. So technically the game is built very simply using Python and Flask as the backend, and also HTML and CSS for the front end, and SQL as a database. But to avoid the common mistakes tapping into the database, the SQL directly, I have also created the JSON file, like the text file, where I have stored all of the 60 questions that we have, so that this database in the JSON file, which is also visible in the CS50 source code, can be extended and changed anytime you want without making cruel mistakes in the table itself. So all these moral questions are stored, and they will be selected randomly each time the user runs the server and starts a new session, to make the game interactive enough and not boring. So there are 10 questions per each session, and each session there will be different questions picked up out from the 60 questions that we have storaged. So yes, for each scenario I have created pictures with AI, with Google Gemini and the chat, and picked up the music out of the Pixabay free source for free sound effects, because I didn't want to be a cunt and go against some rules or be blamed that I have stolen someone else's ideas or whatever. So this also included the work with the artificial intelligence by creating the pictures. It took a lot of time to fulfill the database, but it was totally worth it, I think. So, okay, let's see now how the game works. We will play 2 sessions. Let's say we enter our name and we say our name is David. We enter the game. Okay, my partner and I went to the coast last weekend. The first question is, like this. A coworker casually mentions their same-sex partner during a lunch break. We can respond naturally, change the subject, or pretend we didn't hear it. We can respond naturally, right? Let me make it like this.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? So after answering each question, there is also feedback audio. And here we can see on the right corner that after answering each question, we can also track how many points we have earned. And the points are honesty, selfishness, and responsibility. Sometimes it can be that we might take a very, very good decision for ourselves because we are a good person, like morally good decision, but still it doesn't correspond with the general responsibility. So the logic behind the questions was very complicated. Not complicated to make, but to think about the logics, so that each time the user is kind of confronted with his own moral picture of how the things should be. This is a general problem with the wallet in the street. We decided we run after the person and return it to the person.
Hey, you!
I love you.
Okay, our partner made us a gift, which we didn't like. But we are nice and we thank them and say we love it.
Thank you.
See, we still have our results.
This guy was good.
Your parent is proud of a life choice you made, but it's not actually something you care about to plan to continue. Okay. We can tell them the truth gently or let them believe it still matters to you. I'll choose the second one.
Hell no.
Your neighbor keeps using your shared parking spot. We can ask their boundaries and document everything, or take their spot whenever possible as retaliation, and accept the conflict is the true shared space. Okay. Okay. We have a can't hear right now. The collective visibility is a procrastination. Of course, we will complement the procrastination like anything else. We are a doctor and we have only one bad left. We will give the bad to the patient with higher survival odds. I'm a doctor, but I think it's the right decision to do.
Good news. I know. Oh, really?
Our lifelong friend confesses they helped trade us years ago. Yeah, good. We will forgive them.
Well.
Oh, this girl. We've taken the same bus every day for years, and one day we realize we no longer remember where it goes. Only that we must say it. I propose cutting off the random stuff and reclaim the freedom. After years of prayer, the church informs us that the God has heard us, but our request is not going to be. We can continue praying harder to speed up the process or ask for a compliant form from God. Let's just do the first one. It's just say good. Congratulations, David. Seems that you are an angel. Here at the final page, we can see how many points we have earned in total. We have 14 honesty points, minus 4 selfishness points, and 16 responsibility points. I think that the selfishness points were earned by the question with the parents to tell them the truth. So, each time we play the game again, the game returns to the first page, asking us to play the game and to enter our name, and the storage goes again, storing the new information that we have given. If we say, for example, my name, Gila, we see that we get another question. So the database is giving us different questions out of the 60 that we have. Well, the final verdict is that this game is combining a lot of knowledge that we have from the CS50 course. For example, the templates, the work with the database, SQL, the Flask, the Python, HTML, and so on. So basically everything that we have been learning so far. And at this point, I thank you so much for your attention. Enjoy my game, and thank you so much for the patience and for the wonderful course that you have made. Goodbye.